Welcome to Divine Inspirations, a company with a noble cause mission to evangelize a new kind of search paradigm, supported by revolutionary new IT concepts that don't exist anywhere today, but that have been implemented here at Divine Inspirations. Let's look at the history of search. If you're old enough, you'll remember the bad old days when you needed to search for something. Let's say you were in college and you needed to do a term paper. What you would typically do is you'd go to a local library and search through card catalogs and look through books and magazines, and after a long period of time finally put it all together. With the advent of search engine technology, what used to take days or weeks was reduced to seconds and minutes, roughly a 4 orders of magnitude reduction in search time. While search engine technology is very powerful today, it still has certain limitations. Take, for example, imagine being President Obama, where you're trying to get your arms around healthcare costs. It turns out the United States is the most expensive country in the world in terms of healthcare costs. So what the administration has done is to create what are called meaningful use quality measures. Think of them as how are we doing kinds of healthcare questions. They are very detailed specifications. And what they've done is to distribute these specifications to every healthcare institution in the country. And they are asking that every healthcare institution both implement and execute these specifications. Now here's the problem. It takes literally years to go through the whole process and get the results back. Now that's far from something like a Google query where you get the results back in seconds or minutes. The reason why search engine technology can't handle that kind of problem is because that kind of problem involves what's called structured data. The kind of data you would see in a business enterprise system, entailing potentially tens of thousands of underlying database tables, where search engine technology today uses what's called unstructured data, things like books and magazines and blogs. So here's what I would call the holy grail of information technology. If you could provide a way of doing Google-like search on structured data, that would be an oh my god experience, what I call the holy grail of information technology. At Divine Inspirations, we have developed core components that we believe lead us down the path to, in fact, deliver the holy grail. Backed by over 30 new patentable concepts, it introduces an entire new paradigm for doing search on structured data. Now, if you look at the smartphone industry, for example, today there are millions of applications out there. And what they all have in common is the following. They all provide custom interfaces to data that underneath the hood, generally speaking, is structured data. And the only way to access that structured data is through their custom interface. Now imagine a world in which you could replace a huge chunk of those applications with a generalized application that knew how to do structured data search. Now this sounds ludicrous. It sounds something impossible. I claim that if you are a Microsoft or a LinkedIn or a Google or a Facebook, you ought to be looking at this technology. If you're President Obama, you ought to be looking at this technology. In fact, if you're any company out there that deals with any kind of structured data, you ought to be looking more closely at this technology. We believe it is revolutionary, and we believe that it is going to be the next trend in information technology. This website was put together so that you could look under the hood at some of these exciting new concepts and ideas. So in this website you'll find lots of presentations and demonstrations and white papers whose purpose is to validate some of the bold claims that I've made here. Now it turns out there's still a lot of work needed in order to fully deliver the Holy Grail. So what we're looking to do is partner with companies that have a bold, adventurous spirit, that are noble cause in nature, and that want to change the world. If you're such an organization, we would love to hear from you.